Imagine you're walking down a street where every house is empty. Windows are broken, doors hang off their hinges, and the only sound is the wind howling through abandoned buildings. No laughter, no cars, no life, just silence. These places aren't from a horror movie. They're real. Ghost towns, frozen in time, scattered across the world. Some were once bustling cities. Others were hopeful settlements that never stood a chance. But now, they're shells of what they used to be. And the stories behind why they were abandoned, they'll send chills down your spine. Let's take a journey from a cursed Italian village to a frozen Soviet wasteland and uncover why nobody lives in these 10 ghost towns anymore. Number 1. Craco, Italy, the medieval village that crumbled. Perched on a hill in southern Italy, Craco looks like something out of a fairy tale until you get closer. The stone buildings are cracked, the streets are empty, and the whole place feels like it's holding its breath. Craco was founded nearly 1,000 years ago. For centuries, people lived here, farming the land and raising families. But then, disaster struck. Landslides started tearing the town apart. Earthquakes shook the fragile ground. By the 1960s, the last residents packed up and left. Today, Craco is a haunting ruin. It's so eerie that Hollywood loves using it as a backdrop for movies like The Passion of the Christ. Locals say the town is cursed, that the earth itself rejected the people who live there. Whether that's true or not, one thing's for sure. Craco's streets will stay empty forever. Number 2. Pripyat, Ukraine. The 26th of April, 1986. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant explodes. Just a few kilometers away, the city of Pripyat doesn't know it yet, but its fate is already sealed. Pripyat was a modern Soviet city, full of young families, schools, and even an amusement park. But after the disaster, radiation poisoned the air. The government gave residents just hours to evacuate. They were told they'd return in a few days. They never did. Now, Pripyat is a time capsule. The amusement park's Ferris wheel never got to spin for the public. Classrooms are filled with rotting textbooks. Gas masks litter the floors. The strangest part? Nature is taking over. Trees grow through buildings, and wolves roam the streets. You can visit Pripyat today, but only with a guide. And even then, you'll feel the weight of its history pressing down on you. Number 3. Kolmanskop, Namibia. In the early 1900s, Kolmanskop was one of the richest places on Earth. Why? Diamonds. Workers flocked here, dreaming of striking it big. The town had a hospital, a ballroom, even an ice factory in the middle of the desert. But the diamonds didn't last. When the mines dried up, so did the town. By the 1950s, everyone was gone. Now, the desert is reclaiming Kolmanskop. Sand pours through windows, filling houses like hourglasses. Doors creak in the wind. The grand ballroom, buried up to its knees in dust. Tourists can still walk through Kolmanskop, but it's a surreal experience. It's like stepping into a post-apocalyptic movie where money couldn't save anyone. Number 4. Hashima Island, Japan. Off the coast of Japan, there's an island that looks like a warship. That's why they call it Gunkanjima, Battleship Island. But its real story is even stranger. In the 1900s, Hashima was a coal mining powerhouse. Thousands of workers lived here, crammed into concrete towers. The island was so crowded, it had the highest population density in the world. Then, in 1974, the coal ran out. Overnight, everyone left. Now, Hashima is a crumbling maze of empty buildings. The school still has tiny desks. Apartments are filled with rusted beds. The most haunting part? Some say you can still hear echoes of the workers who never left. The island was closed for decades, but recently opened to tourists. Just don't wander off. Collapsing buildings are a real danger. Number 5. Bodie, USA. Bodie, California, was the definition of a Wild West boomtown. Gold was discovered in the 1870s, and overnight, Bodie exploded. Saloons, brothels, gunfights, it was pure chaos. At its peak, 10,000 people lived here. But like all gold rushes, it didn't last. By the 1940s, Bodie was a ghost town. But unlike others, it wasn't left to rot. Instead, it was preserved in a state of arrested decay. Today, Bodie looks exactly like it did in the 1800s. The general store still has cans on the shelves. A poker game sits unfinished on a saloon table. Locals swear the town is cursed. Take something from Bodie, and bad luck will follow you forever. Number 6. Kayakoi, Turkey. In the hills of Turkey, there's a village where no one has lived for a century. Kayakoi was once a thriving community of Greek Christians. But in 1923, after a war between Greece and Turkey, everyone was forced to leave. Now, Kayakoi is a ghost town of 500 empty houses. The church still stands, its frescoes fading, the streets are silent. It's not just abandoned, it's a memorial to a forgotten people. Number 7. Oradour-sur-Glane. Some ghost towns are abandoned by choice. Others are left empty because of pure evil. On the 10th of June, 1944, Nazi soldiers stormed Oradour-sur-Glane. They rounded up the villagers, men, women, children, and murdered them all. Then, they burned the town to the ground. After the war, France decided to leave Oradour exactly as it was. Burned-out cars still sit in the streets. Sewing machines rust in abandoned homes. It's not just a ghost town, it's a warning from history. Number 8. Pyramiden, Norway. In the middle of the Arctic, there's a town that feels like the end of the world. Pyramiden was built by the Soviets to mine coal. It had a swimming pool, a cultural center, even a statue of Lenin. But when the USSR collapsed, the money dried up. In 1998, the last residents packed up and left. In just a few hours. Now, Pyramiden is a frozen relic. Lenin's statue still stares out over the snow. The school's blackboard has lessons half written. The strangest part? A single hotel still operates, welcoming brave tourists who want to see the Arctic's eeriest ghost town. Number 9. Kadykchan, Russia. Siberia is already one of the harshest places on Earth. But Kadykchan? It's next level bleak. Built by Soviet prisoners, this town was home to thousands of coal miners. But in 1996, a mine explosion cut off the heat. In negative 40 degrees Celsius winters, that's a death sentence. People fled, leaving everything behind. Now, Kadykchan is a graveyard of Soviet life. Toys, gas masks, and propaganda posters litter the buildings. The cold preserves everything. Like a snapshot of the day everyone disappeared. Number 10. Centralia, USA. Most ghost towns are quiet. Centralia? It's on fire. In 1962, a coal seam under the town caught fire. It's been burning ever since. Smoke rises from cracks in the ground. The air smells like sulfur. By the 1980s, everyone was gone. Today, Centralia is mostly demolished. But the fire still burns, and will for centuries. It even inspired the horror movie Silent Hill. Why do ghost towns happen? Some towns die because money runs out. Others are killed by war, disaster, or pure bad luck. But one thing's certain, ghost towns remind us that nothing lasts forever. The do's, don'ts, and dark realities of ghost town tourism. Let's be real, there's something thrilling about walking through a place time forgot. The crumbling buildings, the whispers of history, the eerie sense that you're not entirely alone. It's addictive. But before you pack your backpack and head off to explore these abandoned worlds, there are a few things you need to know. First, the practical stuff. Many ghost towns are dangerous. We're not just talking watch your step dangerous. We're talking collapsing floors, asbestos, unstable staircases, and in some cases lingering radiation. Looking at you, Pripyat. Always check if a site is legally accessible, and never ever go alone. Guides exist for a reason. They know where the ground won't swallow you whole. Then there's the ethical side. These aren't movie sets. People lived here. Some died here. In places like Oradour-sur-Glane, entire families were massacred. Taking a selfie in front of a burned-out church isn't just disrespectful, it's grotesque. And don't even think about pocketing souvenirs. That old doll or rusted coin? It's not yours. It's part of a story that deserves to stay intact. But if you go in with the right mindset, it's unforgettable. Standing in the middle of an empty town, you'll feel history breathing down your neck. You'll see the echoes of lives lived, a child's shoe in Bodhi, a wedding photo in Kayakoi, a half-drunk bottle of vodka in Kadykchan. These places force you to ask, what would I have done if this were my home? So, should you visit? Yes, if you're prepared to tread lightly, listen closely, and leave nothing behind but footprints. Because the best ghost town explorers aren't thrill seekers. They're storytellers, keeping memories alive long after the last resident is gone. Would you spend a night in any of these ghost towns? Or are some places better left to the ghosts? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey, share it with someone who loves a good mystery.